Remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. Tonight's invocation will be given by Councilman Jimmy Conyers.
All right, y'all please bow your heads. Gracious Heavenly Father, we just thank you for this day, for our friends, our families, and all the blessings you've given us. We thank you for this opportunity to gather together, and we ask that you give us wisdom and guidance as we decide on decisions that will be for the best for our community here. We also ask that you continue to look after the city of Fairhope, the employees, the citizens, and everyone that makes up this wonderful community. We just ask all these things in your Son's name. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Councilman Conyers.
Yes, sir.
Okay, first order of business will be to approve the minutes of the regular city council meeting, the work session, and the agenda meeting, which were held on June the 8th. Does anybody have any additions, deletions, or changes to those minutes as submitted? Okay, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes as submitted.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the minutes as submitted. Any comments? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, please say nay. Okay, motion carries. Mayor Wilson, your report, please.
Thank you, Councilman Burrell. I want to talk about the Working Waterfront project because of, a lot of misinformation that's been communicated over the last week. Basically this is a once-in-a-lifetime gift to our community, and it's definitely, it always has been and always will be something that the community is engaged with and will adopt for our community. Basically, we hear you, and we want to assure citizens that you will be a part of any refinements and additional input until the vision and mission is adopted. The goal from the beginning and continues to be community-engaged plan to ensure this iconic park is enhanced and protected for generations to come. And we are still in the conceptual planning phase. I ask everyone to please take the time to get the facts. My administration has always been forthcoming, open, and available. The idea that something is being pushed through and without any communication is simply not true. It's been communicated since 2017, and it's been very frustrating this last week for all of the directors and department heads that have been working on this, because a lot of time has been spent on this and doing what we feel is the best in communicating it and getting it out there. We also want council involved. Y'all were emailed on April 6th with the to go over the presentation. It was during COVID, so it had to be a Zoom meeting. I do appreciate Councilman Brown for participating in that, and I know that Councilman Boone tried to there was technology issues, but so the whole presentation, nobody else engaged in that Zoom meeting that was planned, and so everything was sent via email April 6th to go over with everybody, and then additional follow-up via email on April 23rd to review and to answer any questions ahead of time or concerns, and then it was presented on April 27th. So here we are, it's several months later. I just, to you, council, I really want you to be a part of this. Nobody's keeping you out of this, and I know you appointed Councilman Conyers, who's been great and been to all of the meetings as part of the steering committee, but that doesn't mean that there's no one else not invited to the table. Nobody, unless we have all input, I don't think it's going to be the best that it can be. And I would rather you do that than waiting like we have now and just trying to push to throw away the whole project, throw the baby out with the bathwater. To our community, please remember that there is an election in 2 months. The things that have been accomplished this term will be transformative for the city and our utilities long term. Much of the hard work over the last 4 years is unfolding over the next 2. We took a city budget running at a $6 million annual deficit, requiring over 50% of utility profits to pay for government services to a self-sustaining state, and before the 2020 budget, and we paid city debt in full in 2019. There's a plan to fully upgrade and fund wastewater, water, electric, and gas on a 5-year plan, and we're 2 years into that project. In 2 more years, the city can institute a pilot fee for the utilities because most of the expensive utility infrastructure upgrades will be completed. And the city can start getting this amount of money that used to go to government services and use it for community projects and community development, capital projects, and all of this needs to be gauged on citizens' priorities, and it will be. That's what I want. I want to make sure that citizens have all of the good things that everybody wants to do, so it's prioritized in a capital plan, and we can follow it long-term and get these things accomplished. We've repaired long-neglected facility maintenance because we simply could not afford it before, all without borrowing money. We brought about leadership for responsible growth, citizens' #1 concern, with the collaborative process that starts with developers in the very beginning, strictly enforcing sewer standards that was not being enforced before, and other critical regulatory measures. Obtained funding for $650,000 for a new comprehensive land use plan that ties in city services, utility infrastructure, traffic, pedestrian circulation, impact on schools, public amenities and assets, environmental impacts, smart growth objectives, which will serve as a true roadmap for our future. It starts this summer. With all of this, I hope most will see why special interests who want me out are eager to try to overshadow these accomplishments with misinformation. Although the last week has been extremely negative, I choose to look at this as a great opportunity to use this momentum to come together as a community, discuss what we love, come with an open mind on ways to improve in a positive manner. Everything can always be improved upon. The very best plan to serve our community and protect this iconic park for generations to come. The money funding for projects totaling $18 million is not coming from the city, utilities, or the taxpayer. All 4 are being funded 100% from restore funds and can only be used for this purpose. Most of the $18 million awarded will be used for sewer system rehabilitation. Money our fee payers that have our utilities are not going to have to pay. In addition to a plan to prevent SSOs, sewer overflows, across the whole Eastern Shore. I mean, this is an incredible opportunity and will now be our focus since we just got this award letter. The process to fully upgrade the sewer system started the month I took office in November 2016. Our team has spent a great deal of time getting out the facts, and we will continue to do so. Please look for a mailer to ensure every household gets the facts, how to play an active role, because we want you to, and be included in every step of the way in the future. I hope council will also take a part. Our future must include everyone's voice, and my goal has always been to make sure big decisions are not being made without you. Any further negativity, knowing that this is going to be a re-engagement process and we're starting over, needs to be used and viewed as the rhetoric that it is. That's all I'm going to say tonight. I'm going to continue to post positive posts and about this great opportunity that we have, and I do hope that people will participate and want to work together. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Wilson. Next item on tonight's agenda is public participation, and this is related to agenda items. If you would like to speak to agenda items 5 through 16, I'd ask you to come to the podium and state your name and address for the record. If you're here to speak about something that is not on tonight's agenda, you'll be given an opportunity at the conclusion of tonight's meeting. So if you'd like to speak to items 5 through 18. Yes, Ms. Cowler.
Hi, thank y'all so much for letting us be here. We applied in about March, I think, to change the Grand Marathon to September. As much as we hated changing the date, I think it was in everybody's best interest for safety and health. We are ever hopeful and watching closely to make sure we can host it here in September. And I'm sorry, thank you. I also want to just point out that we usually host the Grand Man the weekend after Memorial Day. So we want to, I know that this construction, as it moves forward with changing the pier area, might change that. So would love to just
Not
make.
at that point, no.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. That's just as our, and we don't want to stop progress. We just want to stay aware. So if we need to make a big change for that, and I think all of us want our lives back to normal. So next year, having the Grand Man on the regular Grand Man weekend will make everybody really, really happy. But thank you. And also, if there is anything we can do to continue to support you through your work on sewer, we want to. So we didn't do it. Just really clear. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Is there anyone else? Agenda items 5 through 18. I'll close public participation and move to council comments. Councilman Robinson?
Yeah, thank you. I just want to say a couple of things. It is about 2 months before our next election, so I would encourage everyone to do your research. Don't believe a third of the things you read because it's generally not true. And I would caution council and mayor, again, because we went through this with the referendum, I think 2 years ago. It is technically a crime under Alabama law to campaign in these meetings. And so just be very careful about what you say, because you are not allowed to use this opportunity as your soapbox to campaign. So just be careful, and look forward to seeing how things turn out in a couple of months.
Councilman Conyers?
Just want to say, glad to see we got a few scouts in the room tonight. Glad you guys are here. And also, I want to say hey to my buddy David Barr. Good to have you here tonight.
A little sketchy, though. I don't know. I'm a little worried.
Drove me away from my wedding 19 years ago in his convertible GTO.
In a getaway car, or like
Was your wife
Like I
with
said,
you?
it was sketchy.
Ashley was there too?
She was with me.
All right,
She
okay,
was
good.
with me.
Councilman Brown?
Yeah, I just want to point out to the citizens that are always complaining that we don't do anything about our sewer infrastructure. We've got item number 9 on the agenda is about $561,000. Item number 13 is $341,000. Item number 15 is $1.2 million. So combined, just in tonight's agenda is over $2 million worth of expenditures to improve our system. So we're not just sitting back letting these overflows happen. We are being proactive and doing what we can to prevent them. That's all I have.
Okay. Councilman Boone?
Actually, I have no comment.
I had something to comment on, but I don't remember what it was, so we'll move on. Item 5, the resolution, the City of Fairhope hereby amends the AIP grant oversight procedures as presented by the Fairhope Airport Authority by changing all places having Treasury Assistant to City Treasurer. So that's pretty self-explanatory, just words. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
You have a motion and a second to change that language. Any discussion on that? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Okay, motion carries. Item 6 is a resolution that Mayor Karen Wilson is hereby authorized to execute Amendment Number 1 to the contract for professional engineering services to perform survey, design, right-of-way, utility, traffic, and geotech services at the intersection of Twin Beach and US 98, which is A-Trip 2 funds pursuant to the Rebuild Alabama Act to extend the proposed turn lane beyond the original ending point and continue to Pirate Drive at a cost of the amendment not to exceed $21,024. And Mr. Johnson spoke to this at the work session. Any further questions for Mr. Johnson? Okay, I'll entertain a motion to grant this
So moved.
extension.
Second.
Okay, have a motion and a second. Any other questions? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Okay, motion carries. Thank you, council. Item 7 is a resolution that Mayor Karen Wilson is hereby authorized to execute Amendment Number 3 to the contract for on-call professional engineering services for the electric department with Stewart Engineering, and hereby authorizes the mayor to execute the associated contract with a not-to-exceed limit of $5,000, as Jeremy pointed out in the work session. Any questions for Jeremy? Okay, hearing none, I'll entertain a motion for this amendment.
So moved.
Second.
You have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Okay, motion carries. Item number 8 is a resolution to award RFP for the city's health insurance broker services to Cobbs, Allen and Hall Incorporated, and hereby authorizes Mayor Karen Wilson and/or the city treasurer to execute a contract based on the fee schedule found on page 37 in the attached proposal. Our treasurer, Ms. Creech, briefed us in the work session or the agenda meeting. And this is a pretty big step. Do you have any more questions for Ms. Creech? I want to just thank everybody that, was involved in the interview review process for that and sitting through those presentations. So very helpful. Any questions at all? Okay, hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to award the RFP.
So moved.
Second.
You have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Okay, motion carries. Item 9 is a resolution that Mayor Karen Wilson is hereby authorized to execute change order number 1 to bid number 14-19, or the Fells Avenue Lift Station Rehab to rectify final quantities for a deductive change order in the amount of $3,972.25, and the award the change order to Cunningham Delaney Construction. So this is a deduction of almost $4,000.
All right, make a motion. We accept.
Okay,
Second.
motion and a second to execute the change order. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, please say nay. Okay, the motion carries. Thank you, council. Item 10 is a resolution. The city council approves the procurement of additional zinc orthophosphate for the water department for the water treatment system due to an increase in water pumping demand at a cost of $5,755. I'll entertain a motion for the procurement.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? As Mr. Allison had briefed us in the agenda meeting. Okay. Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Okay, motion carries. Thank you, council. Item 11 is a resolution the city of Fairhope vote to procure 7,800 strings of outdoor LED lights. They're available for direct procurement through the Omnia Partners contract, which has already been nationally bid. Therefore, they do not have to be let out for bid. The cost will be $76,050. We'll entertain a motion for this purchase, please.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. For those of you that missed the agenda meeting, I heard that we're going to be bringing the installation back in-house. I was really happy to hear that. Any further comments? Okay. Hearing none, all those in favor of the purchase, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Okay, motion carries. Thank you, council. Item 12 is a resolution the city of Fairhope vote to purchase the SCADA system annual software maintenance agreement for the electric, gas, water, and sewer departments from Surveillant Technology as a sole source distributor, and authorizes procurement based on the option allowed by the Code of Alabama. Contractual services and purchases of commodities for which there is only one vendor or supplier, and contractual services and purchase of personal property which by their very nature are impossible to award by competitive bidding at a cost of $22,280. It's just our annual maintenance service agreement. I'll entertain a motion for this purchase, please.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any questions for Mr. Allison? Okay. Hearing none, all those in favor of the purchase, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, please say nay. Okay, the motion carries. Item 13 is a resolution that Mayor Karen Wilson is hereby authorized to execute Amendment Number 1 to the contract for extension Number 2 of bid 27-17 cured in place pipe for sanitary sewer mains by extending the time to complete the contract to January 31st, 2020, which expired on December 31st, 2019. The explanation for the extensions is included in the letter from Volker.
What about the timing on
Yeah.
that?
That says extended to January 31st, 2020, which has passed. We have a typo there, Jay? Or is this going back and paying for some work that was done?
We're not asking for any more money. The budget's there. But when we went to meet with them around Thanksgiving of last year, Volkert told my team that the best way to go about it, because we knew we had things that still had to be done, that they could put the orders in since we weren't going over budget, and they thought it'd be all right. But Belinda Purchasing caught it, Kim Creech caught it, and brought it to my attention. We would have asked for the same extension. We thought we were okay. Obviously, we were not. The work's been done, and we're not asking for any more money. We just need to do it for accounting purposes, right? Okay.
And I, want to point out, as Councilman Brown said in his council comments, that, what we're trying to do with the sewer system upgrades, this is something that we make annual expenditures on, this cured in place pipe, which is where you basically inject a liquid into a pipe that may have cracks and fissures in it, and it cures, it hardens in place, basically creating a new pipe without having to dig up the roads and disrupt yards and businesses and sidewalks and such. So, it's something that you may not see. It's not real, fancy or it's not real glorious, but it gets done.
We can't see it
So,
every day, but we know it's there.
yeah. And there's a lot to be done there, and this goes on and on and on. This is routine maintenance. Okay. So I will entertain a motion to execute the amendment.
So moved. Second.
Okay, motion and a second. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Okay, motion carries. Thank you, council. Item 14 is a resolution the City of Fairhope vote to procure an additional 2,000-gallon tank at the Fairhope docks to be used for diesel fuel. The item is available for direct procurement through the NJPA Sourcewell Purchasing Co-op, which has already been nationally bid, and therefore we do not have to let it out for bid, at a total cost of $15,000. So, entertain a motion for the
So
purchase.
moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Okay, motion carries. Item 14 is a resolution that Mayor Wilson is hereby authorized to execute extension number 1 of the contract with W.R. Mitchell Contractor for a sewer main, point repair, and bypass connections for an additional 1 year as per the terms and conditions of the original contract, with a total annual cost of $250,000 per year. And it has a total bid proposal not to succeed of $1,185,500. You guys have any questions about this? We went through this also in the agenda meeting. Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to execute the extension.
So moved. Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, please say nay. Okay, motion carries. Thank you, council. Item 16 is a request from Casey Calloway, a Mobile Baykeeper, requesting permission to change the dates for the 2020 Publix Grandman Triathlon due to the COVID-19 pandemic to September 25th to September 27th, 2020. This request was approved on January 20th, 2020 to block the streets and the use of the park on the south end of the pier, North Beach Road, the Bayfront Park, and the Fountain area. And the Grandman Triathlon would be held on September 26, 2020, and the Jubilee Kids Triathlon would be held on September 27, 2020. All requested closures, uses, and permissions were previously approved. Chief, any reason to deny this request? Everything in order? Okay. Council law will ask for a motion to grant the permission.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second to change the dates. Any further discussion? Okay. Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Okay, motion carried. Thank you. Okay, public participation. If you have anything else to bring forth before the council, if you'll come to the podium and state your name and address for the record.
Good evening, Councilman and Mayor. I thank you for allowing me a brief 3 minutes of my time with you. I'm here to urgently, plead with you to reconsider the having the July 4th celebration activities that are planned on July 4th, obviously. My urging and pleading to you for doing this is not because of my own political beliefs or non-political beliefs, but rather based on science. As I came in here today, I was troubled and continue to be troubled by the lack, I guess, of, or maybe the prevalence of skepticism, as Mr. Scott Harris, or Dr. Scott Harris mentioned today, who is our chief health officer in the state of Alabama, who was alarmed and continues to be concerned of the rampant skepticism that this COVID-19 virus is somehow not that dangerous or somehow may be overblown. And I say that because when I walked in here, very few people, including law enforcement officers, including yourselves, apparently have that concern. Dr. Fauci has said recently he wears, and I wear, a face mask in public because I care about the health and safety of others, and that's my concern and respect for you. Having said that, there are some issues I'd like to quickly bring to your attention if you haven't already made your minds made up, and I hope you haven't. I hope I'm wrong on that. Because this upcoming festival or activity, to me, is sending a message to our residents and those nearby us that you may not see this as jeopardizing the health and safety, possibly the lives of those attending. We know that another city nearby, Gulf Shores, has sent a different message. They have canceled the July 4th activities. You make of that what you may. Science says we should be concerned about having such an activity. Now, what do I say about that? I don't say very much about it because I'm not that smart. But I will have some prepared statements for you from health experts, including Dr. Fauci, about such an activity and what it might result in. On June the 18th, in a Washington Post interview, Dr. Fauci said the following: we should be maintaining distance, we should be wearing a mask, and we should avoid crowds. Any large group is a danger and risky endeavor. Now, having said that, I am really troubled again that the council has not seen fit yet to reconsider and cancel the upcoming activities. Not because I don't like July 4th activities, I look forward to them. However, there are certain guidelines that is recommended by major health experts, including Johns Hopkins and also Princeton University and also CDC, and that is, if you're going to have an outside activity, which is the least riskiest, but in this case not so least riskiest, then we need to adhere to certain parameters, and those include people being 6 feet distance apart, maintaining social distancing, people wearing face masks, people washing their hands. I am skeptical that any of those guidelines will be adhered to if you were to proceed with having these activities. Why? Because I've been to July 4th activities in Fairhope, and I know how dense and how close people are to each other. Children will be running around with each other. Who's going to be monitoring that? bathroom facilities? Will there be opportunities for people to wash their hands? I don't know about that. And not only will we have people from this area in Fairhope itself attending the activities, but we're going to have people from surrounding counties, Gulf Shores, because those people won't have a July 4th activities to attend, so they'll probably come over here. I don't know about Mobile. I don't know if they've decided to continue with theirs or not. So these are other guidelines and safety issues that I would plead with the council members to pay attention to. Not because I say it, but because people who are smarter than me have said that unless you can assure the attendance of people at such an activity that they will adhere to these guidelines, then there are serious outcomes to consider from that kind of activity. And in my 3 years living here so far in Fairhope, and I'm actually a Mobile resident previously to that, I shop, unfortunately, not as often as I need to, or too often, to places like Walmart, Publix, Winn-Dixie, and what I see here is what I see out in public. People apparently seem to be skeptical of the seriousness of the virus. Most people don't wear face masks. And if that's the case, I suspect that will also be the case at these festivities. And that will only result in, I think, unfortunate rise and continuing rise. As you all know, the COVID virus cases continue to rise in the state of Alabama. They haven't gone away. They haven't disappeared magically. They're still here with us. And the virus doesn't care what you think or what you believe. Science usually has a final say-so. So, having said that, I thank you very much for your time with me. My time is up. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Hello, good evening. I'm Catherine King, 508 Dyson Street, and I'm here to talk about the working waterfront and to thank you, Mayor, for all your wonderful work and the steering committee. I don't know who's on the committee, but I know a lot of work has gone into it. And as a citizen, I took the survey. I was invited to one of the focus groups in mid-February, and I went. I will tell you that I felt it was a lot of a meeting about the process, not really about what we were there to talk about. So I came away from that a little bit disappointed. And then when I saw the presentation, I was here to see the presentation, and that gave me concern too. I didn't see a lot of changes on the website about the news about the waterfront. And so when all this kind of erupted this week, I got very concerned. So I just wanted to mention that I am still very concerned about the changes to the bluff and the changes to the slope of the bluff, what's going to happen to Stacks Gully, and the move away from the natural look that we have at the beach. And so I'm very concerned. I hope that other citizens will become involved now that maybe word is out more. But our founders looked at this area very, very closely. And about this time, 125 years ago, they purchased the extra 18 acres from Mrs. Sarah Tatum. Up to that point, they had just purchased the area to Stacks Gully. And then about this time, they purchased the extra 18 acres for $300, and that included what we're looking at today, which is our South Beach. So thank you very much for your comments, and I hope everyone will get involved and participate.
I'd encourage you also to sign up. It's on the front page of our city website, the Everbridge. Okay. Good, because we're going to put those meetings out.
Okay. Is there anyone else? Do you want to announce who the scouts are? Anybody care to tell us?
Yes, hello, Troop 47, Bryce Murray, Major Thompson, Gia Hatfield, and Landon Smith. But they are here fulfilling some of their badge
Well, welcome. Anyone else? Okay. I have a letter to read from the city attorney. I'm going to ask you all to take a vote to go into executive session, and this is from the attorney. It says, as city attorney Marcus E. McDowell, I hereby request the Fairhope City Council go into executive session based on section 36-25A-7A3 to discuss pending litigation and possible settlement options regarding said pending litigation. City Attorney McDowell does hereby declare the City Council of the City of Fairhope rise from regular City Council meeting on Monday, June 22nd, 2020, to go into executive session. The City Council shall be in executive session for approximately, we'll say, 45 minutes. At the end of the executive session, the City Council shall return to the City Council chambers to resume regular City Council meeting. The time is 6:35 p.m. The City Council exits the dais to go into executive session. Well, I entertain a motion to go into executive session.
So moved.
Second.
A motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Mr. Attorney, do you expect us to take any action when we get back other than to adjourn? Okay, all right, thank you. Call the meeting back to order. I will entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved. Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. Okay, we're adjourned. Thank you.